mean, when the whole hair thing happened, at the point I was like, okay, well, like in my head was just like really calculating, what should I do? I was like, no, hell no, I'm not just going to stand here and have you like swing your hair in my face. Like last week, someone has literally put her hands in my eyes, and Big Brother did absolutely nothing about it.
She had already called for a meeting. Tacha didn't know that I didn't finish my bath because Ike entered the bathroom. So when I came out and I was trying to like wear my clothes, so when Cindina passed the message to me, I replied the message, and before you know it, we were just all over.
Okay, listen guys, I have a confession, okay? See, the very first time I had seen DSTV's advert that Toke Makinwa had a sit-down conversation or interview, whichever, with Tacha and Mercy, guys, I had been filled with so much anticipation. I was really excited. I had actually set up my alarm. I had marked my calendar. I wanted to watch that interview so bad. Yes, I was waiting as though my life depended on it. And it's all because it's kind of brought back memories. Yes, bittersweet memories of Big Brother Naija season 4, the Pepper Dem Gang season. Guys, that season was one of the most toxic seasons for me personally. I was dragged severely. Nothing where I no see for internet. It was crazy. It was wild. Tacha made certain revelations, yes, that I also noticed at the time. And although a lot of people were not really focused on that, people were more focused on, oh, Tacha was very rude and arrogant and blah, blah, blah. But she made certain revelations that I would really love to touch on again on this video. So Mercy, of course, also made some revelations. And it was, listen, let's just get into the video. Let me not spill all the tea on this intro, all right? Let's just get into the video. Of course, before I continue, I totally need to officially welcome all of you back to this YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea. And the tea of this video is all about that epic reunion that Tacha and Mercy Eke had on the set of Toke Makinwa'S talk show. All right, I'm going to be spilling the tea on all of that, and of course giving my own perspective on the revelations that both women made and what I think about it generally. So if you also have your own perspective, your own thoughts, your own opinion, you know how we do it on this channel. Go ahead, drop it all down in the comment section below respectfully. And I also want to thank all of you for coming through so strong last night on our FSWG YouTube live stream. Guys, oh my God, like, I really appreciate the fact that yesterday was Monday and a lot of you were just returning from work and you still made out time, still found the strength to join the live stream and contribute your opinion, contribute your quota to the conversation, whether virtually, whether in the comment section. Come on, that was so much love right there. Thank you all so much. Honestly, the conversation last night, it was intense. It was deep, in-depth analysis from left, right, and center from all over Africa. Guys, what more can I ask for on this channel? Listen, thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing all of you this Saturday, as usual, 3 p.m. WAT or 4 p.m. CAT. All right, so don't forget, guys, make sure you make it a date with us. This week, Saturday, it's going to be another mind-blowing conversation. That said, let's quickly get into this particular conversation. First off, most of the things that I picked out from what Tacha had actually explained from our own segment of the interview with Toke before Mercy had joined them were just a number of issues that I had also noticed. So what I did was I listed them out. I'm just going to highlight them and then I will talk about them in details briefly. So she had talked about how she felt that Biggie was biased towards her in that season. She had also talked about why she had pulled Mercy's hair during their altercation, and she had also talked about what she felt caused the altercation between the both of them. So about Biggie being biased toward her, she had cited examples of the strikes that she had received in the house. Guys, remember, Tacha had received 2 strikes first before the strikes were wiped away, and then the game was reset all over again for everybody in the house that had a strike. yes, to give everybody a level playing field towards the finals. So according to Tacha, one of the strikes that she had gotten, the excuse or the reason was simply bland to her. I'm just paraphrasing. One of them, she said that, oh, Biggie had called her name and she had called her name back, like echoed her name back, which is something she normally does. And then Biggie had picked offense, you know, they had classified that as her being disrespectful. So that had led to her receiving a strike. I think the second strike she had gotten, I can't really remember what prompted that strike, but I think it was during the Joe's provocation period, yeah, when Joe was actually provoking her. Joe had come into the house as one of those, is it fake housemates? I can't really remember, yeah, but Joe had come into the house with the intentions of directly and outrightly provoking Tacha. And that was what he had done. It was his mission on the show, and he had made sure that he did that to the T. So guys, to be very frank with you, I couldn't help but agree with Tacha. Yeah, because some of the strikes, guys, even some of the reasons for the strikes, for me, they were just like, what the hell? What the hell? Because if we were going to base all those reasons on, yes, she was being disrespectful, there were other housemates too that came off as very, very disrespectful. Take, for instance, Venita. That I will never forget that particular night that Big Brother was supposed to provide the housemates, or rather announce that there was hot water for them to have their evening bath. And Big Brother had delayed in making that announcement. And then when, I think about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. at night or in the morning, early in the morning when Big Brother had made that announcement, Venita had outrightly said, Big Brother, oh, God will punish you. Now you know, say, go give us water, you know, that kind of thing. She had outrightly cursed at Big Brother. And Big Brother had been quiet about it. Big Brother had taken no actions whatsoever about it. And I remember making a video about that particular event, and I talked about it. I said, okay, if it was Tacha that actually did that, of course, people would have clamped down on her that, oh yes, she's arrogant, she's proud, she's rude, blah, blah, blah. But hey, there you go. Someone else did it. But then there was no penalties whatsoever. So that was one of it. And then the other instance that she had cited was the little, I think, altercation or whatever that happened between herself and Diane. Yes, and Diane had actually poked Tacha's eye. Guys, I'll never forget that event as well. What happened? Absolutely nothing happened. Yes, that matter was never addressed. It was swept under the carpet as though it never even happened. Diane was protected. Yes, Diane was protected. People saw Diane as the hero of the season. Yes, the one person that had actually, in quotes, stood up to Tacha and had actually poked Tacha's eye. And the rest of the housemates too, they were actually happy that it had happened. Yes, they were happy. And there are reasons where, Tacha was one that provoked Diane. Tacha was basically making a general statement. And Diane, who had been having conversations with Mercy, that, oh, she's going to teach Tacha a lesson, she's going to do this and that. She'd actually capitalized on that opportunity to do what she wanted to do. Intentions that was premeditated, something that she had in mind all along for weeks, planned to do. She'd actually executed it. And people had celebrated her. People had, you know, given her a pat on the back that, oh yes, you stood up to Tacha, you are the hero. And guys, it was quite hilarious that the same thing that they were castigating Tacha for, that was the same thing that other people like Mike Edwards were actually doing to Tacha. They were provoking Tacha. They were bullying her. Why? Because she was constantly announcing her presence in that house, constantly declaring her confidence in that house, constantly declaring, you know, self-motivating herself that, oh yes, I am going to be here till the last day, till day, is it day 89 or day 99, you know? So that had actually offended the rest of the housemates because they felt like, nah, she's too confident. She has too much pride, forgetting that she was actually playing her game. So if Tacha was announcing herself, what about Omoshola that kept on shouting, worry, now here we day? Even joining Tacha to talk about, oh, no leave, no transfer. What about Omoshola? You know, so I felt at that time that the housemates were quite selective of where they wanted to place their aggression. They were quite selective of where they wanted to place their anger, their hate, their dislike. So because Omoshola had a way of having conversations with the rest of the housemates, whilst Tacha kept to herself more and rather stuck to her friendship with what's her name, Kathy, yes, they picked offense. And then Sheyi Awolowo, of course, who felt like, oh, Tacha should have crawled to him like a dog to beg for allegiance, to beg for friendship. He got offended. His ego came into play. Masculine chauvinism, or whatever do I want to call it. It came into play, and for him, he joined forces with other housemates that felt like Tacha was too proud and started attacking her verbally. And then during the reunion, it went as far as calling Tacha a puta. You all know what that means, guys. Google it. Yes. Calling her that. And then trying to act smart, which was quite unsmart of him. Trying to act smart like, oh, puta does not mean so and so. It actually means that and that. Guys, to be very honest, when Tacha was just narrating all of those sordid experiences, I could totally relate because I saw all those things play out in front of me. So to some extent, I will agree that Biggie was kind of biased towards Tacha, not 100%, but it was actually biased by not addressing especially that part that Diane played in poking Tacha's eye. And then on the reason why she had actually pulled Mercy's hair during their massive altercation, she felt, no, this should not happen again. Because somebody, that's Diane, had actually poked her eyes before and nothing was done about it. So this time around, Mercy was doing the same thing to her with her ponytail. And she knew that Big Brother was not going to address it, which was, in my opinion, where Biggie's bias came again. Biggie repeated his bias again. Because it was obvious, we saw the altercation, we saw the fight. We saw how Mercy kept on flipping her hair in Tacha's face while Tacha was talking and clapping her hands. They were having an altercation, of course. It was an altercation involving two grown women, yes. And Tacha was talking and clapping her hands, and Mercy, instead of her to also do whatever you want to do, she flipped her hair in Tacha's face. And guys, guess what? When the punishment was to come, Tacha received a strike, inclusive of the other two strikes, and then it led to a disqualification. And I'm thinking, okay, what about Mercy? Shouldn't Mercy have been disqualified as well? I mean, if we were to do a calculation, right, the two strikes that Tacha got before, they were actually written off, inclusive of any other person that actually got in a strike in the house. But then Big Brother brought back those strikes. I don't know how they even calculated it. I don't know how it even led to Tacha's disqualification. But if at that time they said, okay, the two strikes that had been brought back, for me, it did not make any sense at all. But hey, Mercy, who had also done the same thing that Tacha did, you know, put your hair in someone's eyes, and the other one pulled your hair, guys, she emerged the winner. So of course, I saw the huge bias there. But yes, fans, they came, they were dragging, they said, no, Tacha did this, Tacha did that. And I'm thinking, okay, so are we saying that Mercy's hair was not a weapon at that point in time? Are we saying that Mercy's crime of flipping her hair in Tacha's face at that time was not as much as a grievous crime, assault on Tacha, just as Tacha pulling Mercy's hair was? Anyways, moving on, she also talked about why she felt they had fought. She felt like it was the pressure of the house. Yes, and to be very honest, guys, I think that season was the longest season since Big Brother Naija. I think it was the longest season because other seasons, maybe it ends day 71, day 73, I don't know. But that season ended day 99. I think it was more than 3 months. It was a very lengthy season. So most of the housemates, I think they were going through some mental imbalance. Yes, psychological games playing. You know, it was crazy. Pepper Them Gang was really a spicy season for the housemates. So they were all tired, they were fed up, they were cranky. Most of them, they really wanted to go home. Yes. So according to Tacha, I think she was right when she mentioned that it was because of the pressure of the house. Now, to be very honest, what really excited me about this interview the most was when Mercy came on to have her own conversation with Toke Makinwa'S. She had been very honest that she and Tacha, they never had any issues at all in that house. And guys, let's not forget that the person that actually instigated that fight was Cynthia. Yes, Cynthia was the one that instigated that fight. She had noticed and perceived the tension between Tacha and Mercy, that they never wanted to cross paths. Yes, when they had task, they would have the task and whatnot. And guys, let's not also forget that that period, about that time as well, the jealous spirit, the envy spirit had actually possessed Mercy in that house when they were having the Arla cooking show or thereabouts, and Tacha's group had won, and Mercy had been so upset. I think it happened twice that Tacha's team had won. I don't know if another team had also won, and Mercy was having a heavy gossip session. I think there was Diane, I think there was also Cynthia, I don't know if there was Ike as well. Guys, and that time Ike was also very good friends with Tacha. So Mercy was really upset. She was outrightly jealous because I think the next Sunday, Ebuka had addressed that during the live eviction show. You know, that why was she upset that people were actually winning? And then she had said that, oh, she loves to win. So that period, I think it was a build up. She was already holding grudges against Tacha. So there was a lot of conspiracies going on. There's a lot of plans going on that, oh, if she does anyhow, she'll see anyhow, blah, blah, blah. So Diane had her own opportunity and had done what she did. And then Cynthia had instigated a quarrel by telling Mercy that, oh, Tacha just called you a fool or something like that. And Mercy had been upset about it. And the moment she came out of the bathroom, she had started tearing out, and you know, they had started going at each other like that. So Mercy had gone ahead to explain that it wasn't really Tacha's fault that the fight had started, because earlier she had been in the bathroom with Tacha, they were talking, and then Tacha had left, and then Ike had come in. She felt disrespected by Ike, she was upset, and then after Ike left, she was having a bath, and then she had delayed by that time, not knowing that she had called for a meeting, and then the housemates were calling her to come out, and then Tacha was calling her out, and then Cynthia was the one that now, I don't know whether she twisted what Tacha said, passed on the message to Mercy, and then Mercy had come out blasting and blazing guns, you know. So it was wild like that. But at the end of the whole interview, Toke Makinwa had asked both of them their perception about each other. And of course, they had said that they admired each other's tenacity, each other's strength, the fact that they are go-getters, and they had hugged, they had kissed and made up. Although they had both admitted that they were not following each other on social media, because they did not want to, should I say, fan the embers of animosity between their fan bases. But then, guys, my conclusion is that interview, it was an interview that was very much needed. But do I think Tacha and Mercy are now genuinely settled? I don't think so. Do I think that Tacha and Mercy are going to be friends moving forward, like buddies? I don't think so. Do I think that these two ladies still need to have a conversation? I definitely think so. Do I think that these two ladies, you know, the hugs and the whole reunion thing on Toke Makinwa'S shirt was actually genuine? I think it was genuine. But do I think it's going to create more room for them to, you know, start doing things together outside the house? I do not think that is going to happen anytime soon. Do I think their fan groups are going to reunite anytime soon? Never. I don't think it's ever going to happen, because that very day, immediately after the interview, Tacha's Titans, they had a Twitter Space family meeting. Yes, and they were very, very open about their dislike, about their lack of trust for Mercy Eke, and they had advised Tacha heavily to watch her back with Mercy. Yes, Tacha was on that Twitter Space for a bit, but then she left. And I totally love the fact that she left, because trust me, if she had remained on that conversation, people would have easily concluded that, oh yes, see, now she just settled with Mercy on the show, and now she is going back to go and connive with her fans, you know. But then, guys, to be very honest, it's actually a messy one. It is a messy one, and it seems as though Tacha Titans, they are not ready to forgive Mercy and her fan base anytime soon, because of all the nasty drags that these two groups had actually had back to back since the past 2 years. But you know what? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on another video. Have an amazing day. Bye.